Good morning. In this video, I'm working on the K24 FRS. If you watched one of my last videos, you know I took a big piece of metal through my radiator. For some reason, this guy wanted to go in there. No good. No bueno. But that's what you get for falling too close to drift cores. That shit happens. I should have protected my radiator a little better, which I'll do today. I've always started taking the car apart. At the track, I tried to JB weld the hole. Like it slowed down the leak, but it didn't fix the leak. It was still kind of steeping around. Granted, it was still a little tacky. I gave it like an hour and a half to dry and it was still tacky. Now it's hard as a rock. It'll probably hold now. And I'm replacing it with this Skunk2 Alpha A radiator. Look at the damn size difference between the factory one and this guy. It's like almost 3 times as thick. I won't lie, it is on the cheaper end of radiators. I did buy it because it was a little bit more affordable. I'm not working right now. So yeah, I need to get what I can get. And yeah, like I said, you can definitely get better stuff like Corads and a few other brands. But this car never had overheating issues cooling wise. It's always stayed relatively cool. But I feel like we can improve it a little bit. So this should do just fine. Just a lot more surface area to cool the coolant. And to help protect it, I got this honeycomb cover shroud thing to go in front of the radiator, which I meant to get one of these before I even had it in my shopping cart. I just never bought it. I think I was trying to find a different color because I don't like the color, but I might just paint this black and see what that looks like. If you watch any of my other videos or know or you have experience with K-swaps in general, these cars suck to bleed the coolant. That's the worst thing about this car. I did improvement. My last thermostat mod that I did to this did help quite a bit. So, but we can still improve it better. From the factory, the FRS BOZ in this heater hose right here, they have a little bleeder valve there, but it's plastic and they strip out really easy, so they're kind of useless. But fortunately, GKtech makes a replacement. A little fitting that you just screw off. So that's very convenient. I know my car is swapped, but pretty much all the things I'm doing to it in this video can also be done to a factory FA20 car. But now that we know what the game plan is, what we're doing, let's finish taking this guy apart. Hey you, Twix. So are you gonna go do that for me? Can you install that radiator? It's a pretty easy job. It's not too hard. I'm sure you can handle it. Okay, ignore me. Okay, got the bumper off and everything in the way disconnected. Should be pretty straightforward for the most part. The only hard thing is my ducting system that I have on the back side of the radiator. Since that's thicker, I don't know how much farther it's going to push it that way. After a shitty start, this shroud is probably going to have to come off and be pushed back or forward some because it's hitting here and down there. It's not allowing it to line up in the little rubber grommet slots on the bottom. Don't know if you can see them. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to do that because that's a ton more work, a lot more work. Hey, I got that ducting out. Really wasn't too bad. Test fitted the radiator, got them in the little slots on the bottom. But for the upper slots, for the factory mounts, I think this radiator is sitting a little higher than the factory one, probably due to these welds, these thick welds. So I had to flip this rubber grommet upside down, and that ended up working. It's still a super tight fit. I might have to enlarge those holes on this side just a hair to get one of the bolts to line up. But other than that, it's good. Test fitted this shroud, and I got plenty of room, so that should be good. But for this guy, this whole thing is going to have to come forward. So what I'll probably try to do is probably either drill new holes where it mounts on the bottom or slalom. That way I can slide it back and forth. But I'm also going to have to trim here where it goes around the roll ball or bash ball so I can go forward.
Eventually.
Okay, I got this guy mostly situated and where I want it. Radiator fits now. Now I got to work on the other shroud. Luckily all my notches and the holes all line up pretty good for this radiator. One thing I'm going to do is do something about this. I'm going to have to make some sort of bracket to hold this down. These, my little ghetto brackets for these still work. They've been holding for a while now. That's good. So yeah, I just need to figure something out for those. I also need to add more weather stripping to the bottom section. I don't remember if I didn't have any or just came off on the bottom. Probably just came off. Okay, front end's really starting to come together. Got all my hoses hooked up, all my shrouds in. Things are looking good. But going to put my intake in. And since the radiator sits up a little higher, a little thicker, it pushes this guy up. As you can see, I've already shaved a crap ton of this brace off. I would like to keep this brace. That's what your bumper hooks up to, and also what my hood lats is mounted to, so I would like to keep it where it's supposed to be. One option I do have is to take the intake off and crush it a little bit where it humps over the radiator. That way I can push it down a little bit. Not ideal, but I would like to keep that brace if I can. Okay, that seemed to work a little bit. Also might have to beat it with a hammer a few times. But it's on now. It was never super great, even with the old radiator. Is still bumped up a little bit. But now that all of that front end stuff is together, I guess I'll work on my little bleeder valve T thingy, which means I gotta dig in the area fault that has everything in it. Now the reason I say it has everything in it because it has coolant lines, fuel lines, the wiring harness, the catch can lines, brake lines. Everything is in this corner. Kind of makes doing stuff back there a little annoying, but it's not impossible. Okay, I got some of the stuff disconnected and kind of out of the way so I can access to this upper heater tube. And probably can cut it around here to install this guy. Okay, I got my hose cut. I used this tool to cut it. Found 2 clamps. Now all I gotta do is install this guy and try to get it oriented the way I want it. Okay, I got both of my hoses clamped up. It's at a pretty good spot where it's at the highest coolant spot, which is kind of where you want your bleeder to be. Because when you start circling coolant, well, all the air bubbles should build up here anyway. And I should be able to crack that loose, let any air out to help bleeding the system. Even if you have the factory engine FA20 in this car, it still would probably not be a bad idea to have that. Because, like I said, the plastic ones do get old and brittle and break off. And it's pretty inexpensive. But now I need to put all of that back together, which is pretty easy. Shouldn't take me long. Bumper still needs to go on. I need to check the clearance, make sure this didn't get pushed out too far for the bumper. But then we're still not done yet because we still have to put the little honeycomb in front of the radiator to help protect it so this doesn't happen again. Okay, I measured my grill area and the radiator box just had this piece of scrap in it. It just happened to be the perfect right size. That makes things easier. But I do want to cut this slightly longer. That way it presses in and holds itself in. While I was waiting for this to dry, I didn't go super heavy, just kind of a light coat just to get the goldness off of it. I had a rather large shipment come in. I had 3 rather large heavy boxes show up. Took kind of a gamble on this purchase. It wasn't super expensive, but not bad for the price. Sorry about the loud chainsaw noises, he's been doing that all morning. I might make a video on what that is, maybe. I think about it. Or I might just show up in the background one day. Also, while that was drying, I made this little bracket. I know it looks a little weird, like some steps. I made it to go underneath my fiddle neck to support it, because right now it's just kind of hanging out, supporting itself by the hose itself. Hey, it looks like a car again. Got the bumper on, got everything hooked up. Got the honeycomb in the grill. It didn't go as snug as I was hoping. I mean, it stays in there, but I am going to have to find a way to secure it better. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. I just don't want it flopping around. Got this bracket I was making in. I just did a test fit. Looks pretty good. So now this guy isn't sagging. I will take it off, clean it up, paint it, make it look nice. All my coolant is hoses and stuff I ran. What else? I did have to trim the bumper here. I might have to trim a little bit more around here. Definitely here, because it's pressing on it a little bit. That's something I can do. Hopefully it goes a lot better, a lot smoother than it has in the past. I think it should. I've just been doing little improvements to the system. I don't really remember where I left off, but coolant is bled. It was definitely a lot faster. Probably took about 2 heat cycles to feel like I already got everything out. That bleeder screw really helps. And while I was doing all that, I built a little brace for the front. So now it kind of looks like it has braces. I put some rib nuts in the side panel, so I'm able to screw that on and off fairly easily. I want to take that thing off. I do plan on painting it, and also I'm thinking about drilling a bunch of holes in it. So some speed holes, because it is kind of blocking part of the radiator. Hey, I am all done. Car's all back together. Did a little test drive, drove it around. Everything seems to be doing A-okay. Pretty much have to be kneeling down and looking low in order to see the brace. And I think I got it dark enough to where you don't see too much of that orangish color. I should probably put a little bit more paint on it, because it might look different during the sun. I don't really see much of the new radiator. You can kind of see it peeking through there. You can definitely see my valve back there. That's definitely one of those things I wish I would have done sooner. Would have saved me a lot of headache. But that is it for this video. Feel like I got a lot done in a short amount of time. I am going to pull that little brace back out, and also the brace I made for my water neck. Gonna make them look pretty, paint them up, shine them up, so it's just not bare aluminum sitting in the engine bay and in front of my grill. And like I said before, even if you have the factory FA20 in this car, all this stuff can still be done to that. If you want to add ducting and all that stuff, I have videos for that. I will put in the little link on the up above. And next event I'm doing is Import Alliance at NCM. So I did sign up for drifting there. That should be fun. And thanks for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.